Hey, I've got a question for you today. Have you ever had an unexpected turn in the circumstances of your life? Something that left you wondering, how am I going to deal with this? What are people going to think? How do I even make sense of this? How do I even move forward in this situation? Well, that's exactly what happened in our Bible passage today. We're going to take a pause from going through the books of the Bible to study the Christmas story here in the month of December. And we usually hear the Christmas story from the book of Luke, that gospel, which we'll get to maybe in a couple weeks. But I want to spend some time going through the Christmas story in the gospel of Matthew. In Matthew chapter 1, after a genealogy that really shows how Jesus is a descendant of both Abraham and King David, because Matthew's written to the Jewish people, and it starts off just saying, like, this is the Messiah, here's where he came from, those were his qualifications. Then, in Matthew 1, verse 18, we're told this, quote, "This is how Jesus, the Messiah, was born. His mother Mary was engaged to be married to Joseph, but before the marriage took place, while she was still a virgin, she became pregnant through the power of the Holy Spirit." Now, I'm just going to pause right there because it's easy for us 2,000 years later. We've heard this story. Our calendar is based on this story of when Jesus was born. And we all know that Mary was a virgin who became miraculously pregnant. But we're so far removed that could you imagine what it was like to be this young, probably teenage girl, engaged, and then to find out, to realize I'm pregnant. What is going on? How am I pregnant? This can't happen. This can't be. And yet, in the midst of that uncertainty and confusion and unexpected change of events, God was at work. I want to encourage you that in your life, where there's an unexpected change of events, God may be at work. We know from Romans 8 that even if he's not the author of that change, he promises to work all things together for your good as a follower of Jesus. This has been the case for me these recent months, as earlier this year, God entrusted to us a facility in the suburb of Carmel, Indiana. We raised money to renovate it. We thought that was our one big thing for the year. And then we found out recently that God has entrusted to us another church building at another prime real estate location, something only God could have done. And with that church in Fishers comes 20 precious people who are essentially entrusting us to use their facility to reach their neighbors for Christ. And I want to encourage you as you pray about your year-end giving here in December, as we're figuring out how to staff that and make that happen, God keeps miraculously providing. But I wonder if one of his provisions might be through you. If you'd pray about making a year-end gift to Connection Point here in the month of December. Of course, everything you give is tax deductible, but far more important, if you give from the heart to God for his work to expand, Jesus says it will be rewarded in heaven, and it grows our faith. So pray with me as we keep walking, just like Mary, into unexpected things that God is doing. And here's the thing, this is how the Messiah was born. This is such a great story, but for Mary in this moment, a little uncertain, a little unknown. And I want to encourage you in your life, if there's things that are uncertain or unknown, keep looking to God, believing that he's writing a big story. We'll pick up tomorrow here in Matthew 1 as we spend the month of December just really soaking in the Christmas story. I'll see you then for more Daily Hope.